All right. Good evening, everybody. We are here at Natural Health in Quincy, Illinois, and we are presenting another health shop tonight. This one is about cancer, but again, the topics of this month is top health-related deaths in the U.S. So again, just kind of getting more awareness out there of what really kind of the information that or how we see it, but then really just helping to give you more value to see what you can do for yourselves, or at least get more support and help from us here if we come to the office. So again, we're going to go ahead and go through it and see what's going on here. So again, I'm Dr. Chip, and let's get started. And before we get started, just real quick, we are a chiropractic and nutrition office. So again, we do see things differently here in the office, just to make sure that we kind of see more to help build the body up, to help support our bodies well, so that we are able to live healthy and happy lives. Now, why, again, I have two coins here, is that many times there are things that we always can see two sides to everything. So everything's got two sides, and that could be health, or you could say health and sickness. Now, you would say that the hospitals, the medical field, they're very good at emergency care. When I say emergency care, it's more of those very sudden tragedies, those illnesses, you would say those sicknesses that come on very quickly or acutely. And then those are, again, emergencies, even like an injury, like a car wreck or anything like that. Those are, it's very good care in those situations. And I would say the U.S. is one of the best in the world for that care. However, cancer is not so much something that comes on all of a sudden. It's usually a gradual process that takes a long time, and then again it eventually develops. So that's kind of more deemed into more your chronic illness. And so even though that emergency care, the medical field has that taken care of, the care for that is not as proven to be effective in that area. And so that's kind of where we want to make sure to go back and see it at a different angle. Not so much, you would say, preventing the sickness, but more of getting back to health. And so we want to make sure that as we go along, that we actually can see that our bodies are capable of being healthy and strong and viable. We just have to allow that to happen. Now you can see that here's a picture of a cell. These are different things where kind of little things that make up your body. There are cancer cells. There are all kinds of cells in your body. There's fungi. There's viruses. There's bacteria. All that. Human cells. But the main thing is just being able to make sure that we have a good, healthy environment in our bodies that actually supports good, healthy cells and good, healthy tissue. And so usually cancer is something that just comes when our bodies are not functioning properly, or not able to adapt, and then we start having problems down the road there. Because cancer is just usually your brain and body, or something is not in harmony. And that's what's causing these cancer cells to develop. And so that's why we want to make sure to kind of, you would say, guard ourselves or use our own body's self-defense, our immune system, to support that and be able to defend those cancer cells, to be able to clean up the environment and make sure that they don't overgrowth. A lot of times is that we think that we don't have any cancer or anything like that, but there's always those little cells here and there that come and go just because our immune system is able to clean them up, to attack it, to get rid of it in that area. And so again, going back to the health of the body, our bodies are very good at what they do. They're you would say, the super intelligence, the most sophisticated technology in the world. Our bodies are amazing. So we want to make sure that we are able to support that along the process here and get back to what we know is good for our bodies. And again, going back to the immune system, we want to make sure that, again, sometimes we think so much about the bug, the virus, the flu, the cold, the bacteria, the whatever. But again, we put so much attention on that we're trying to fight that all the time. We're trying to get rid of that all the time. It's kind of like the war on, cancer, the war on drugs, the war on everything. But we can't keep fighting things all the time if we want to actually get back to the good, the healthy. Because where you place your attention is where you're placing your energy. So let's place our energy back on us. Let's place our energy back on our health and our immune system. So again, we go back to this because, again, it's kind of how our bodies are able to adapt. That's what happens when the cancer comes. That's what happens when our immune system breaks down. That's what's going on. And so again, there are 3 things that cause our bodies to not be able to adapt properly. So you can see that physical trauma, nutritional and toxins, and the emotional thoughts. Now really, these are all forms of, you'd say, energy. We just want to make sure to get more energy back to our own health and well-being. And so when, again, we have too much of one or all of these things, then our body is becoming much more unbalanced. It's not able to adapt. Our systems of our body are not able to function properly, and that's when we start having issues such as pain, symptoms, signs, and it could be chronic illnesses such as cancer. So because it's really more about that a system is not able to function optimally, and that's what starts happening where we have these different things going on. So again, we always go back to there too, chemical, kind of like the whole nutritional toxins area here, is that, again, good clean food, water, and air. Again, fresh air, sunshine, all that too. We want to make sure to get outside. Water, again, there are a lot of good options out there. Spring water is by far the best. And then food, again, just what is found in nature is always good. Now, of course, too, we might get into some foods here and there that aren't, super organic or natural, that too. We want to go back. We want to try to get back to that point. We're not going to be perfect all the time, but those foods are good for us in the overall. Physical trauma. We think about slips and falls, too little or too much exercise, but really is that the physical trauma is just more of things that our body is not able to adapt to. And so repetitive movements aren't really a bad thing. It's more of if we are getting stressed out by these 2 things here too much, and then our body is just not able to keep up. It's like kind of more going to the gym 7 days a week and expecting that you're just going to keep getting better and stronger and faster. But there's a lot of science, a lot of studies out there to show that it's actually the quality of those exercises, workouts, and you can actually go back to about 3 days a week. But again, it's just more of, it's just too much for your body to adapt to. So again, that's the important thing. And then emotional thought and negative. Now again, we're all going to have negative thoughts. You can't quite just get rid of them all the time. But really, it's not to give so much energy and attention to those things there too. Because when we get back to our natural, being here too, it's usually that it's more joyful, more peaceful, and more a better positive state. And again, there's many ways to address that. Again, we here at the office are able to do those things here and there in different manners. Now, we talk about too, as chiropractic here, and then chiropractic, obviously, we want to make sure that you're feeling good. We want to get you out of pain. A lot of people have neck pain, back pain, knee pain, joint pain, all that too. We're able to do that very effectively. But we also want to help address the whole body, the whole system there, and a part of that is being the nervous system. Now, again, like you said there too, when we're not able to adapt, it's usually because our body is unbalanced so much due to these stresses that cause our body to become unbalanced, and then it's not able to function well. And that's the nervous system. It's kind of almost getting into like a fight or flight response, or almost like an overdrive. This is kind of what you're showing here. This is a sympathetic, again, it's a very brief way to say it, but again, this is calling more your sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So again, we don't want to be in one state or the other, but we want to be able to adapt to both of them, be able to go back and forth. Now, I would say that 95% of the population is probably stuck in this system about 70% of the time. Could be more. But what that does is that taking a lot of energy away from our bodies and our health, and that's what happens. That's what kind of tends to cause our bodies not to be able to adapt. So when we're able to get back to this spot here too, that's our rest and digest. This is actually helps to get our body to, you would say, actually digest our foods properly, get rest, recovery, restoration. It's kind of like if you're going to the gym and you are working out all the time, you could kind of be in this system all the time. But if you never go back to this system, this is where you tear your muscles down. Again, that's not a bad thing because you're trying to build them back up with this system. But if you can't do that, then again, you're going to be stuck in this one. So that's, again, kind of that whole factor there too, where you're kind of breaking down. You're not adapting. So you want to be able to go back and forth with that too. And we kind of talk about that too. The immune system is much more effective in this state. This is kind of more of like if you're running from a tiger or a bear, you want to get away from that immediate threat. You're not really worried about the immune system, about the virus or the bug. This is what actually helps you to defend yourself from viruses, bugs, bacteria, and then cells, the cancer cells that kind of get affected too. So we want to make sure that is all working properly. So the nervous system, like you said, is that when it's connecting well, your brain and body are in good sync, good harmony. Kind of the nervous system, the neurons here, it's like a Wi-Fi signal. You're able to get good connection, good receptivity. But if you're not able to receive the signals there, your brain and body are not communicating properly, then the Wi-Fi signal is bad. And just like anything, when you're not able to get on the internet, not able to call people well, or the messages are going bad, it's usually that your conversation is not going to work well, or that communication is bad, and that could really disrupt your relationship, even like the business or kind of calls with family, friends, all that stuff. So again, just connectivity and being able to receive things is a good sign of good health. So again, going back to it, we talk about more of dis-ease because really your body's, when it's in harmony, when it's able to be balanced and adapt well, it's in homeostasis, it's everything able to work well, that's when you're at ease. But when you're at a dis-ease, that's when you start having chronic illnesses and all that stuff too. So like I said, chronic stress causes an unbalanced body. When we have improper brain functioning, again, dis-ease, body system dysfunction, dis-ease, and then immune system dysfunction can go back to the cancer cell growth. And so your immune system is kind of like on the alert to really balance out the fungi, the viruses, all the cells of your body. But if that's not working properly, then it can get out of control. The cancer cells can grow so fast or so much, and then again, that's having a hard time to recover there. So that is, I think, it for me for today's topic here with the cancer and related deaths. Again, I hope you enjoy that information. Again, we're trying to really help you to see there's always two sides to everything and get you back onto the health side. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Dr. Mark and I'll go from there.
Perfect. Hello, and good evening. Thanks for watching tonight. Dr. Chip had a lot of good information there, and so I'll try to get maybe a little more detail in some of the things. So we look at cancer prevention, and again, the things Dr. Chip talked about were very important for cancer prevention. The nervous system working correctly, which chiropractic helps a lot with, but we also want to look at, what are you doing in your environment? So for this part, optimize your vitamin D. We want you to be in the sunlight. I just constantly get people talking about, you can't be in the sun and get skin cancer. Well, human beings have been in the sun for thousands and thousands of years, so it's not the sun. The sun's not the problem. We're back to the immune system. So if you have a working immune system, you want to be out in the sun so you can activate your vitamin D. Eating living foods with amazing health benefits. You want to be eating good foods, not processed stuff. All the processed foods have no nutrition, or hardly any nutrition in them. Even synthetic vitamins, they're synthetic. They're not coming from foods. Where we use Standard Process, a whole food nutrition company, and they're just using actual food and concentrated. They process it in a way that it does not ruin the enzymes and all the cofactors and things. It's still a viable food. So I was thinking before, as Dr. Chip was talking, in the United States we spend 2 times more than any other country on health care, and we have all the opportunities to eat junk all the time. So if the healthcare system is actually working correctly, you would outlaw Dunkin' Donuts and Baskins and Robbins and most of the pizza joints and things like that. Because you're looking at the underlying cause of it. That's not how we do things in America. Everybody has a lot of income, or most people do, that they can spend on junk food rather than eating good foods. And then they have to go to doctors to pay for the if you're following the insurance companies, who have treatment, medication, drugs to handle the symptoms caused by the junk food. So we just want to kind of bypass that whole thing. And you can actually save money, really, we do it all the time in here, save money by eating really good foods. You can grow your own food, you can grow most of your vegetables, so you can save a lot of money by eating really good foods. And then, as Dr. Chip was talking about too, if you're overworking your body, from whatever stress you're getting under, well, then you need supplements. You just can't eat enough. And sometimes the vegetables are not raised in the right kind of soils, and that's a whole other science, probably a whole other episode. But anyway, you just want to make sure you have living foods, good foods, and then supplement that so you're getting the body enough nutrition it can handle the stress it's under and the environment that you're in. Avoid eating excess protein. There's kind of a fine line there. You really have a hard time eating excess protein if you digest proteins. So this is not talking about just eating steak all the time. It's all the different kinds of proteins that are out there. Mostly meats, but there are some vegetable proteins and different things too. But we want to use that with the living foods, the vegetables and things. So most of the diet recommendations we have in here looking at getting good quality meats are protein sources, and then a lot of vegetables and things. And simplify your cleaning supplies. That's just getting away from being around chemicals all the time. There's a lot of commercial things out there that work very well, but they're all full of chemicals. So if you're around them, you're going to be absorbing those. They get into on your skin. And there's a special example of a dishwashing liquid that's blue, and it's very popular, but it's got formaldehyde in it. And so it's very hard on the body, very hard on the liver, especially if you washing your dishes day after day after day without gloves on. And if your body doesn't have the ability to detox, your liver is toxic or overloaded, well then that's going to lend towards the cancer cell development. I mean, cancer cells, there's already some produced all the time. It's just how it works, and again, the immune system takes care of it. But if you're getting the chemicals and all kinds of things that actually suppresses the immune system, that's again what lends towards cancer and heart disease and diabetes and all those major three degenerative diseases we deal with. So again, the sunlight, the fresh air, even something simple like walking barefoot in the dirt, the grounding effect that goes along with that, connecting with the earth. And when you hear, when somebody passes, you hear ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Well, that's what we're made of. We're made of dirt in a way. It's very organized, much more than dirt. But you're getting that nutrition from the soils. So that's why even we know that center process raises their ground on soils that are very controlled, very well nourished with minerals and things like that, so that it gets into the actual food. And this picture shows a great example of relaxing. You don't have to go home at night and watch TV. You can go out, just sit and watch the sunset, or watch the leaves fall, or whatever. You don't have to be doing stuff all the time, which again gets you into the parasympathetic mode of your autonomic nervous system, which helps you to relax and then rebuild. The body has the ability to do that. Sleep is so important that we track that here at Natural Health to make sure that you're sleeping and sleeping well. So again, the cleaning supplies, getting away from all the harsh chemicals. We use Melaleuca products here. They're pretty good. There are some that are better without hardly any chemicals, but they don't work as well. So it's kind of a trade-off of that. So Melaleuca products seem to work pretty well, and they're pretty good. So we watch that. And cancer prevention, use Green Beauty products. Again, looking at all of the products you use every day, look at the labels and see all the stuff that's in them. And especially, the gals looking about breast cancer, two big things with breast cancer is the tight bras. That's really stops lymphatics from draining, which is how the body gets rid of the cancer cells. And then underarm antiperspirants, that blocks up the cells from the sweat glands from producing sweat, which is how you detox. So if you just get away from antiperspirants, you can still use deodorants, and then not wearing tight bras or get the bra off much as you can during the evening or times, then that will help. Just it's a simple thing with breast cancer. There's just things you can do about it. Drinking clean, pure water. Dr. Chip talked about spring water. That's really the best water. It's got some minerals in there. The body likes to have those minerals from the ground, and you need water that's clean or pure water, not just in tea or other things. Herbal teas are okay, but like black tea, things with caffeine, that's dehydrating. We're very big on hydration here, drinking half of your body weight in ounces water per day. So if you weigh 200 pounds, just drink 100 ounces of water a day, or something pretty close. You need the water, not just the liquid, but the water to help the body be able to clean itself. Get your non-stick cookware. I'm spelling there. The non-stick cookware, that's usually Teflon. That's been definitely shown to be carcinogenic. You just got to wash all those chemicals in there. And yeah, it's supposed to stay in the pan, but when you scrape around on it or it gets hot, the atoms and things get into the food. So I just want to lose that. And you choose organic or locally grown and locally grown food. Talk about raising food yourself. Some people don't have the time for that, but there are farmers markets out there, and when you can do that, then you can can for the winter. And so that's really good to do. Otherwise, if you buy things that you don't know where they're coming from, they may have pesticides and things on them. We talked about grapes and chili. They can use DDT down there. So a lot of that's on those things. And it's really hard to get it off once it's been on there for a while. It kind of grows into the plant. So really important to watch all the things in your environment and just get rid of as many as possible that way. So then you can handle things you can't do anything about. Again, good quality fruits and vegetables in a varied amount, not just eating one vegetable all the time, but trying all kinds of things. Now, something we noticed in here when our patients came in and started a program, nutritional program, they may be eating, donuts or really sweet things. And so if we can get them off of that for a while, it takes time. Sugar is very addictive. It's worse than cocaine in the addiction level. But if you can get them off of that, slowly get off of that, and the sweet tooth goes down, then if you try some of these vegetables, you'll find that they actually taste very good and are sweet, especially like the peppers and tomatoes. Things are very sweet, onions, those kind of things. So there's just some great tasting vegetables out there, but you have to get away from all the junk food and the candy stuff because they don't taste good compared to the body has a taste for sugar, salt, and fats. The manufacturers know how to use that against us by having a lot of their processed foods have a lot of sugar, white sugar, and it has a lot of white salt. Now we promote the use of mineral salt or sea salt as the electrolytes in the hydration process, but not white salt. And unfortunately, the medical people don't distinguish between the two. It's just salt's all bad. Well, that's not true. You have to have some salt for things to work right, for kidneys and things to work. And when you sweat, you know that your skin gets salty. Even your shirts will get white from the salt. And that's the body getting rid of the water so it can cool itself down. But it has to move salt. So it's so important there. And of course, good quality proteins. And of course the vegetables, but the proteins will be important because that's what your body uses to repair itself, so proteins and fats. So it's important to know that you get good quality proteins and the ability to digest them. People after 35 to 40 start losing the ability to digest as well. That's why a lot of older people don't like red meats because they just can't digest it. But there's ways of helping that, and we're kind of back to the salt thing because the body can use that to help make the digestive juices there too. So again, skip the canned foods because even the insides of the cans are not good. They can leach mineral or metals, and then when you put them in the can, you have to have cooked them good and hard so that there's no bacteria left. Well, then they're dead. They might still have some taste. And there might be some things that are okay, but just want to try to stay away from canned foods. And ditch the microwave. The problem with microwaves, they're very convenient, but they kind of get rid of any nutritional value that's left because it's breaking down these coenzymes and enzymes and cofactors in the foods. The food's still there, but it's best to just heat them up like in a toaster oven or something like that. It takes a little longer, but it's much better for you. So that's a lot of good information about cancer prevention tonight and what causes cancer. We deal with a lot of patients in here that have had or had cancer. And the big thing we want to try to get patients, like Dr. Chip talked about, get the information out there because there's ways of preventing cancer. The medics are big at looking at the genetics of the family. You know, grandpa had it and dad had it. So the thing is, it's the epigenetics. It's the actual environment, the food, the things in there that turn the genes on and off. So the better you can treat your genes with good food, with good water, good sleep, good emotions, less chance you're going to have of that, and really no chance if you treat yourself really right. Again, we're on Facebook and Instagram. We're doing that tonight live, and we'll eventually put things on Brighteon.com and then YouTube so you can watch it later or tell your friends. The good thing about what I found out is Facebook will eventually put closed caption on these things too. So if you have people that can't hear as well, that's good too. You can always subscribe to our email list at naturalhealthquincy.com. We do have free consultations if you want to know what we're doing here, because we are a different kind of office here. We're more of a wellness center, but we gear towards chiropractic and diet and nutrition. And those two are very powerful techniques to get the body healthy. And we even have ways of monitoring the body's health. When people go through our programs, we can have them come back from time to time and just monitor how they're doing. So we again prevent the body getting and falling into these degenerative disease issues, and not again, medication is important for immediate causes or immediate problems, but it's not a nutrition. Medication is not a nutrition. It's actually anti-nutrition, anti-vitamins and minerals, because the body has to use that, burn those up just to get rid of the medication. So anyway, our healthcare system is not really healthcare, it's disease management. And we're looking at trying to get people to look at a healthcare system where you're getting healthy, not just controlling disease or numbers. So a whole different paradigm than what we look at here at Natural Health. So I think that's got everything for tonight. Our phone number is 217-228-2040. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week, and enjoy the nice weather. Thanks.